Bless the Lord, brothers and sisters. So happy to be back yet again. Listen, I'm going to get right into this message. I only got 15 minutes of your time. Listen, 15 minutes of your precious time. We're going to get deep today. We're going to get raw. We're going to get really, really refined in the fire, because as long as you guys keep it real and raw, that's when the deliverance, that's when the healing, that's when the transparency, that's when the freedom has a place to reside. But as long as you keep it fake and fraudulent, as long as you keep faking the front and perpetrating the fraud, you're going to be lost in the sauce. Let's get into it. What happens when the devil tries to turn up the heat? Listen, you could be a law-abiding citizen, sometimes eating ramen noodles at night, minding your business, trying to live from paycheck to paycheck, trying to make sure your family is doing great. But even in the midst of this summer heat, which doesn't make it better, spiritually, you are feeling like you're literally being pushed and shoved in a meat grinder. Do I have any listeners out there that could testify? Oh, we're going to get deep today. Why? Because you need to know what to do. I'm not telling you to put on some DMX, get at me dog, and just say F the world. Oh no. We as children of God have to maintain our peace. We have to maintain our composure, even when the devil tries to turn up the heat. I'm telling you, he will do it. He's done it to me. I know that feeling is a very uncomfortable feeling. You literally feel like you're on the edge of a breakdown. So what do? Well, I was actually thinking about The Shining. I might be telling my age. I'm 46 years old, but you ever saw the movie The Shining years ago? Kind of warped movie but everybody's pretty much know about Jack Nicholson. I don't remember his name in it. Johnny. Here's Johnny. Listen, maybe that's why I use in a lot of my videos Johnny, little Johnny. I don't know. Maybe that came from that. But going on back to the movie, let's put things in perspective. I don't want to go on a tangent. Listen, Johnny, right? In The Shining, I was like, he didn't start out like that. Think about it. In the beginning of the movie, they come to this house, right? And in the beginning of the movie, he was somewhat of an intellectual dude. You know what I mean? He seemed like he had everything together. I believe he was a writer or something like that. Listen, it's been years since I've seen that movie. But my point being is that he did not start out like that. Okay? The devil turned up the heat. And I'm like, what was it? Was it just a house that was necessarily? I'm getting deep. Y'all better flow with me. So please enjoy the ride. So check this out. In The Shining, right? He didn't start out a crazy nutball trying to kill his family, right? It was a progression, right? Because the devil turned up the heat. But it wasn't that the house was exclusively demonic. It wasn't exclusively because of that. Because if that was the case, why didn't the wife and the child just go nutball crazy, even though that the son, quote unquote, had a shining or whatever? But why wasn't the wife just downright going crazy? Why did all of them want to just kill each other and that's it? If you remember the end of the movie, right? The ones that survived that ordeal, and like I said, I'm getting somewhere. Just flow with me for a second. The ones that survived the ordeal was the wife and the child. Oh man, this is coming good. This is getting good. Listen, even in the midst of all of that dysfunction, right? There's always got to be somebody that's level-headed. I'm leaving on the comments on this one because this is really getting good. I'm leaving the comments open because I want to see your feedback in here, because I'm telling you the truth, brethren. There's a lot of people that's going through some wild, crazy, outlandish stuff. And I believe that this type of feelings, these type of feelings, right? These supernatural, out of the blue type, uncontained, psychotic, weird, crazy feelings, right, are in the atmosphere. And I believe that the devil is strategically trying to turn up the heat, whether it be through vaccines, whether it be through your environment, whether it be through generational curses, whether it be your own demons. The devil is, or the higher ups, wickedness in high places, where they're strategically, putting things in the air, aerosols, to literally just bug us out and dumb us down and have us ready to lose our minds up in here. All right? So I'm telling you, we got to stick together. We got to pray. We got to be alert, because I'm telling you the truth. It's not just the heat, the physical temperature. The devil is trying to wear out the saints. It's the word of God. It says it in the word. He's literally trying to defile someone that was initially, just like the movie, had his marbles. But did he? Oh, man, we getting deep. Check this out. Let's bring it on back to the movie, right? So, in the movie The Shining, right, which was a very warped movie. I'm not saying go see it. I'm just kind of rewinding the tape and trying to equate it with how the devil turns up the heat and how he's strategic and who and why he uses who he uses. Getting on back to the movie. At the end, right, the wife and the son survived. There's a lot of people out there that's living in toxicity. People in your household may be downright losing their minds, but looking all intellectual, dressing it up, makeup, wig, weave, but they literally out their freaking minds, straight up raw. You know what I mean? Mental health to the next level. But check this out, because when you equate mental health, you got to dig deep into why or how it got that way, right? Ooh, I hope I'm not losing so much time. Check this out. So Jack Nicholson in the movie, right? He was an intellectual guy, whatever. And then he turned rogue. He let the environment, he let his own demons, see, that's the key. His own demons that was already there laying dormant, that he did not get routed out, that he did not check at the door. You see, it didn't necessarily have to do with the house. The house which they went in was already full of demons and demonic stuff going on, right? What it did was it turned up the heat that was already residing in his members, in his vessel, in his heart, mind, body, spirit, and soul. But the wife, on the other hand, and the child, some way, somehow, it was evident that they were able to get out of that situation. All right, now we're going to bring it on a spiritual level. We're going to get deep. We're going to make sense of this whole thing. Let's bring it on to the core of what I'm talking about. Sometimes, brothers and sisters, the devil is strategic in when he's going to turn on the heat, where he's going to turn on the heat, how he's going to turn on the heat, and why he turns up the heat. A lot of times, you already have those demons residing in you. That's why you got two people on the road driving, right? And the spirit, which is a spirit now, of road rage decides to look for a body to reside in. Okay, so the spirit, look at it, think of it on a spiritual level. It's floating, right? A spirit is floating around and it's looking for a home, right? So you got two people driving, one person trying to go to an interview, the other person trying to go to a wedding, right? So tenses, the atmosphere is prime meat. He's just seeing which one he's going to get into. So they meet each other at the light, and this one person that's going to the wedding decides to go just a little bit slow for whatever reason, thinking maybe he shouldn't get married in the beginning. Taking his time. Who knows, right? So then the other guy who's on his interview hiatus bumps the horn and decides to let that spirit of road rage overtake what was already there. The guy who was on, oh man, okay, we're there. Okay, the guy who was looking for an interview was already prime meat. And the reason why he was susceptible to getting that spirit in him, because he was already open to other demons. The demon of fear, because he was trying to get his rent paid. He needed a job. So the spirit of fear already resided there. The spirit of anxiety and fear are cousins. So they're going to be residing together. So all of these demonic spirits was already there festering. So when you have the spirit of road rage, that's just another opening for the devil to say, you know what? I want that one. So why is it that even though the guy the guy was ready to get married, right? He was a little intense. He decided to pray about the situation. And he was in his car and he said, Lord, if this is your will, please protect me. Like, he is literally in the spirit. As opposed to when the devil turned up the heat. See, the devil will turn up the heat in your circumstances, whatever it is, rich or poor. It doesn't mean that the devil won't try to knock on your door. But the bottom line is you recognizing what's already there. Oh, yeah. The reason why the guy in The Shining was susceptible to turning rogue and he was Johnny, ready to kill his whole family, is because he didn't realize what was already in him. And he already had that spirit of murder in him. He already had all those other crazy spirits in him. Whether it be alcoholism, whether it be womanizing, whether it be every other demon. Listen, this is a prime time to check yourself before you wreck yourself. All right? If you got a susceptibility, if you would, I don't know if that's a word, but if you're susceptible, with anger, with jealousy, pride, rage, all of these are demonic spirits. So being in a hot climate, when you sweating in the shower, oh man, I just said something. Anybody been in the shower? It's been so hot that you in the shower and you sweating in the shower. I saw somebody said amen out there. When the devil tries to turn on the heat, when you trying to look for some peace, when you're trying to cool off, when you're trying to do the right thing, what you need to do is to take a deep breath. A lot of people don't even know how to breathe. I'm telling you the truth. Breathing is so important. It's a technique to breathing. If you're breathing really, really fast, little short breaths, you wonder why. You're stressed out. There's a technique. You literally have to take deep breaths. You ever notice when you perturbed? I don't want to say pissed off. When you're perturbed and you go like this, check me out. You go like this. Don't you feel good after that? Don't you feel good when you take that deep breath? It literally gives you that second wind. That's why you're not breathing like that enough. So if you're physically, chemically, psychologically in a state of being vexed, of being susceptible to the devil, what do you think is going to happen when he turns on the heat? You're going to be prime meat. Have you been praying? Haven't you been seeking the Lord, or you just been on Instagram looking at worldly stuff? Saturating yourself to people's lives that are fake, phony, and fraudulent anyway. Living a lie. You've been seeing too many celebrities going to Fiji and you downright pissing yourself off about it because you're eating ramen noodles just a little bit too long. And the plastic in those ramen noodles have been subsequently jacking your brain up to the fact that DMX is sounding a little bit cool and you just want to break fool. Oh, man, this video is kind of funny, but real at the same time. What do when the devil turns up the heat? Well, you better make sure you know yourself and you're aware of your wicked ways. And as soon as you get clarity of that, that's when he can erect those demons out.